Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing an Atlas crate, which I'm very excited about. And so if you are new to my channel, I created this channel as a homeschooling resource to do unboxings, which is what we're doing today, to give you curriculum ideas, organizational ideas, and ways to invite Christ into your homeschool space. So if you're interested in those things, please hit that subscribe button. And let's get into this crate. Okay, so this month's Atlas crate is Poland, which I'm really excited about because we've had several like either Central, South American countries, or we've had a lot of African countries recently. So it'll be fun to do a different part of the world. So it says craft an egg. I don't know how to say the name of the egg, but some sort of egg. Build a geometric ornament and explore Poland. So we're gonna see what all that is. So when we open it up, we have our little cards right here, and then it says, shows us how to say hello in Polish, which good luck. I don't have any know-how of how to say this. So this is always fun. I love these cards. There's always so much information and so many fun activities and a food. And so I'm excited to see what the food for Poland is. But my kids love these little maps because then they'll look, it shows where it is on the world, and then they can go find it, and they think that's really fun. So we have that, which is gonna give us a whole bunch of information. There's some Polish words if you want to try it out down there. And then it's gonna kind of give us a little bit of a tour right here and has some more things. Are those bagels? Those look delicious. And then we have some information, some different history if you wanted to incorporate history into this as well. And then this is, I think, is it a flower festival? I don't really know. Wreaths, it's wreaths. That's really hard to say. So you could make a wreath on the back. It gives you some ideas how to do that. And then pierogi. And so that's what the recipe is. So I'll have to see how you make these because I don't think I've ever made them before, and we might have to try it out because that could be a lot of fun. They're, I feel like dumpling kind of things, right? So anyways, that's the cards, and then we're gonna see what's in here. So we have glue. We have our little glue stick right here. And then this is our egg. I'm like, are we just decorating a fake egg? Because this could be interesting if we're cracking eggs all over the place. So we have that. And then this is the ornament that it was telling us about from Poland. So then we have a whole bunch of different pieces. So we have a little place probably to put our glue. So here's our egg. No real eggs were harmed in the making of this video. And then we have some stickers. I don't know if these go, oh, these probably go on the egg, I think. So that's what those are for. And then we have all these foam pieces. I think these are for the ornament. And then the dowels for the ornament. These are pretty skinny little guys. And some little pieces. These have a whole bunch of little plastic pieces in them that will probably connect all the dowels together. And then it has some other little pieces in here as well that we'll use. We have a mess mat because we like to make messes around here. And a paintbrush. This probably is to use for the glue because we don't have like any paint in here. So this all looks like a lot of fun to try out and to let my kids try out, and maybe we'll try out the food as well. So we're gonna get at it and we will let you know how it goes. Okay, so my kids finished doing the Atlas crate and we had a lot of fun together. We split up the activities and the food and different things and kind of worked on them together but individually as well. So let me just show you some of the things that they did. So we made this egg. My daughter that is 8 was the one that mostly made it. And it's really, really cool. I don't know how to say the name, but actually the name right here refers to the art of kind of taking all these different pieces and stacking them on top of each other. It's not the specific name of the egg. It says that they use this kind of style a lot. And so in here, it's fun to read the history of it. It said to like jazz up the walls of a house, and then it became more popular, like using these cutouts to decorate things. So I just thought that was cool to learn about. So on this, it gives you a whole bunch of these different sheets. And so there's 2 for the rooster, 2 for the plant, and 2 for the flower. And you can kind of decide how you want to layer them and how you want to decorate with them, and then you glue them on. And so that's what my daughter did right here. So I thought her rooster turned out really, really well. And then you have the flower on the bottom, and then you have this other plant. And then you can use the other leftover pieces to decorate the rest of the egg. So she spent all of her time on that, and she did a good job. She loves this kind of stuff. So you could tell she was being very thorough and very careful as she did everything. And I just thought the idea of it is a lot of fun, and it turned out really well. So we'll have to find some place to display that for a little while. And then the other craft my oldest mostly worked on. So this is what it looks like, and it's a geometric ornament that they use to decorate. And obviously theirs in here is much more like intense and intricate, if you can see that picture there. But again, reading about the history of it was really cool and really fun to do. And so this was actually pretty easy to put together. The biggest thing that took the most time was just putting, you can't really see them, but underneath all these flowers, there's little pieces that have these clear rubber stopper things on them, and you have to push them all on. So they look, there's a picture of them right here. And so my son spent the most time doing that, just because it takes a little bit of elbow grease to get those things on. And then you start to put in the sticks and everything, and then eventually it looks like this. You fold them all together, and then you have these flowers. This is just tissue paper, and so my 4-year-old helped him layer them up with the different colors. She even put one on. They just use like those brad nails, and so they put them on, and then these pieces just slip right on because they have a hole in the middle. And then one of these sides, oh yes, right here, has a little hanger on it, so you could hang it up if you wanted to. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And again, these were all good projects for my kids to kind of split up and work on individually, and then they kind of helped each other. So my 4-year-old also helped just put glue on this, just because tearing these out, since they're so fragile, would have been really hard for her. And so she helped with the glue because she wanted to participate. And then the last thing that we did was make pierogi. So my 6-year-old boy helped with this, and it was a lot of fun. I don't even think he's eaten them yet, because we just broke piñatas for the maker crate, and he ate so much candy that he didn't want to try these yet. So maybe he will later, we'll see. So these are pierogi. They're a different kind. I don't know how to say the other word, but it says, but when they want something cheesy and easy, they turn to this classic twist on a familiar favorite. So this sounds like a simplified recipe from normal pierogies. I don't know, I've never made normal pierogies before, but the recipe is very, very simple, because you just have ricotta, eggs, and flour basically, and you mix them all together, and then you just lay them out and cut them into pieces, boil them, and then saute them in some butter. And they suggest you can sprinkle it with cinnamon sugar if you want it a little sweeter, or you could do like sour cream and chives if you want something a little bit more savory. Dumplings have never been my favorite thing. I just don't like gushy bread, like that I'm eating raw bread. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes. I don't feel like these tasted bad. Again, the texture isn't something I love, but my husband tried the ones with cinnamon sugar on them because I just made 2 different plates. I separated, so it doesn't tell you to do this, but it just says put them all in a pan, like in a big pot of boiling water and cook them. But there was so many of them, I split them into 2 batches. And then I feel like that works better too with the sauteing, because then the pan wasn't crowded. And then 1 batch I did cinnamon sugar, the other I just left plain. So if you wanted to put like something savory on it, you could. And so he tried the cinnamon sugar ones and was, it's kind of weird. Like my brain is like, is it a dessert or is it not a dessert? Because the dough isn't sweet. You know, and us Americans are used to super sweet things. So anyways, but it was still good. And my oldest, Mazer, and my youngest, Lydia, loved them. Like they just kept grabbing the cinnamon sugar ones and eating them. So apparently they liked them, they taste good. And the sour cream one, I tried just one with a little bit of sour cream. And the hardest part there is the ricotta and sour cream have very similar rich flavor, like that rich creamy flavor. And so there's not a whole lot of distinct flavor there. So those were just some of my viewpoints, but if you've had pierogi and like it, or this kind of pierogi that's just basically a cheese base, what do you like to put on it? Like, what do you do? Do you put sauces on it or something like that? I'm just curious what you do with it. But it was still a lot of fun, and Manti really enjoyed helping me. He was a great helper. He even got out his plastic knife so that he could cut some of the pierogi to put it in the boiling pot. So it was all good fun. And then there's still this wreath here that I think would be fun. Maybe at Christmas time, we'll try it. You need a 2-liter plastic bottle. We don't drink soda around here, so I always have to just buy them and like dump soda out if I'm gonna use that, because we don't drink it. Anyway, so we'll have to see if we try that crab. This one floats, so I think that's why you put the 2-liter bottle bottom at the bottom of this, so that it can sit in the sink. Anyway, the crafts, everything was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed doing the Atlas Crate. It was a fun time too to be together and just kind of connect through crafts and through food. So if you enjoy seeing these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.